Hello everyone, welcome to this channel and welcome to this video, which is as always, exciting video to film. This video is gonna be about my first trimester. It's gonna be a little bit of a roundup, what happened, how it happened, about the symptoms, what I found useful. With that being said, this is my experience. Every single pregnancy, every single woman, every single baby is different. So the fact that this was my experience, it doesn't mean that that's gonna be your experience or was your experience. So that's what we're gonna do today. And without further ado, let's go straight into it. So if you have seen my previous video, which is basically like announcing that I'm pregnant, where I'm talking about our fertility journey and where I'm telling my husband that I am pregnant and taking the pregnancy test, you will know that we were trying for quite a long time, and at the end our baby is an IVF baby. So that means that we knew quite early. I mean, in general, if you're trying for a baby, you usually will know quite early. So basically I was doing my pregnancy test, and when I found out I'm pregnant, I believe it was like a 4-week of pregnancy. It was just like 2 weeks after ovulation, basically. When I was watching and editing the footage, I mean, you can really see on the pregnancy test that the line is very faint. Just for the information, I did also another test, and I'm gonna try to insert a picture if I can find it. That line was much more visible. Yeah, I did this second pregnancy test just to be sure, and after that, I believe it was like another 4 days till I went for my blood test, because if you're doing the IVF, they're gonna call you for a blood test after 14 days after the transfer, where they measure the HCG, which is a hormone that your body is producing when you're pregnant. After the 4 days, I went and did the blood test, where I got it officially confirmed that I am pregnant. And basically the nurse told me that we have to wait 2 weeks for an appointment, because there's not gonna be anything visible at the ultrasound at the moment. We were waiting for 2 weeks. I went to the clinic again. They did the ultrasound, where basically I saw the baby for the first time. The doctor was checking for a heartbeat. I was there along with the doctor, but after the heartbeat confirmation, my husband was called into the room and he could actually see the baby. And I was very thankful, because in these times, in the 6 weeks of pregnancy, I got the ultrasound confirmation, heartbeat confirmation, super happy, super excited. Then I thought that I'm gonna go straight to my gynecologist, but no, she asked me to come again in 2 weeks time. So in the 8th week of pregnancy, we went to the clinic again and we did another ultrasound. Again, I was in the room with the doctor. Everything looked just fine. The baby did measure a little smaller, but I mean, she said that it's completely normal, not to worry or anything like that. Again, my partner was called in the room. He could see the baby, he could see the heartbeat. We actually saw the baby wiggle for the first time, so we got lucky in that one, and my husband saw it too, so I was super happy about that. Around the same time, around the 8th week, I also had an appointment with my gynecologist, where they basically again confirmed the pregnancy at the ultrasound. And funnily enough, I feel like my gynecologist has not such advanced ultrasound, but you could see the baby a little better. Like, you could actually see the head, and you could actually see like a little bit like a baby form, although on the ultrasound that I had, it's like a little blob. But unfortunately I do not have a picture from that. And after that, over here it works that every month you go for like the checks. They measure your weight, they measure your blood pressure, they sometimes take your blood if it's needed, which happened the first I believe 2 times that I went. First time it was just for like a, I guess like a usual checkup, not even sure, which actually showed that I am anemic, which is no surprise. I knew I am anemic, so I started to take iron. I'm basically on an iron during my whole pregnancy. Other than that, everything looked fine. The second blood test was just to check the genetic information, if everything looks okay. Thankfully, everything came back normal, so baby should be fine. I didn't do like a trisomy test or any like additional genetic testing. We were thinking about it, or I was thinking about it just to be calm, but then I realized that maybe I'm gonna be even more nervous if something comes up. And either way, we're gonna love the baby. Either way, we're gonna keep the baby. So if there's not something fundamentally wrong, which the first genetic test would, like the basic ones would show, I didn't see the point. So after that, I had a third appointment in my first trimester, and in this third appointment, it's like a big checkup where they actually check and measure everything about the baby just to make sure everything is okay. And this checkup again, completely fine, everything looked great. Baby measured like a week less, I believe, but again, they told me like that's completely normal. From what I read, also IVF babies were supposed to be smaller, so I was not really worried. Of course, I was like, why is it a week smaller and stuff like that, but then I'm like, everything else looks fine. The fact that it's a little smaller, it can still grow, it's just fine. However, the doctor found out another thing, which was nothing bad with the baby, but it was a problem, and not really a problem, but it was a thing with my placenta. My placenta was creating quite low, which could cause some bleeding. I had to be on the rest, which I still have to be. I have to be resting basically as much as possible, which I'm trying to do. Now, if we're gonna talk about symptoms, thankfully I would say that my first trimester was quite nice. Surprisingly, like my skin got better, but it could be because of all the medicaments, because actually till the end of the first trimester, almost till the end of the first trimester, I was still on progesterone and estrogen. So surprisingly, with that amount of hormones flowing through my body, my skin got a little better, because my skin like the previous year was like terrible. But also I started some skincare journey, so maybe that also helped, I'm not sure. Hopefully this is gonna last also after the pregnancy, fingers crossed. I was nauseous, but I didn't puke. But yeah, it wasn't like every single day and non-stop. I know that some women, they just puke all the time or feel nauseous all the time. I did feel nauseous, but it really wasn't that bad, and I didn't puke once, which is amazing in my opinion. One thing that happened though, I was super hungry. I was crazy hungry the first trimester. Everybody says like the first trimester, okay, you're hungry, but the second trimester you're like crazy. I don't know, the first trimester for me, I really liked anything sweet or salty, or actually anything junk food. I always love junk food, I always like sweet stuff, but like I just started to eat much more than I was used to. So I started to gain weight. I think in my first trimester I gained I think it was 3.5 kilograms, or around 3 kilograms, something around that. Let me have a look, actually. Let me have a look. I have an app. I actually am weighing myself every single week. 13 week. Let me count it. Yeah, I gained almost 3 kilos, like 2.9 kilos. The funny thing is that even though my appetite is higher, or has been higher since the beginning of my pregnancy, I just haven't had any cravings, anything specific. It's just sweet stuff and junk food, and like I said, that's completely normal for me, regular day. Another big symptom that I had was a hair loss. Every time I took a shower, every time I brushed my hair, it was terrible. It was so much hair. I was getting very upset about it. I mean, anyway, I don't know if you can see, but I do not have a lot of hair in general. It's just like how my hair works, how it always has been. I'm not gonna have luscious, huge hair with a lot of volume. That's my husband, which I'm hoping our kid is gonna have his hair and mine. But it was even worse than normal, so I cut my hair. So this is why I have short hair. They were even shorter. But yeah, I decided to cut my hair. I was like, okay, you know what, if I don't cut it now, I'm not gonna cut it when I already have a baby, because I'm gonna be too nervous, because it's gonna be probably too short. So I'm gonna cut it now. They can rest, and slowly they're gonna be growing, and maybe till the baby comes they're gonna be till here, so that's gonna be perfect. You know, it's not gonna be in the way when I'm gonna be breastfeeding, hopefully. I had a lot of cramps, which is completely normal in the first trimester of bloating. I had a very bad bloating, but again, that can be from the injections and in general from the pregnancy. I had a lot of dreams, vivid dreams. I was in a stage of my life where I didn't remember my dreams anymore, but after I got pregnant, I got used to the fact that I have a lot of dreams, a lot of crazy dreams, very vivid, which is very typical for pregnant women. Other than that, I didn't have nosebleeds, which is again typical pregnancy symptom because the blood flow is heightened during the pregnancy. But I had a lot of I'm sorry, this is a little bit disgusting, but I had like a lot of boogers every single day, and they were bloody. So, but I never had like a nosebleed, so at least that. And the last symptom that I had during the first trimester was a fatigue. I was very tired all the time. I could sleep all the time. I slept the whole night, and then I could take a nap in the middle of the day again for like 2 hours. That was my ritual. But then again, 8 o'clock, good night. See you in the morning. And the last pregnancy symptom that I have here is a heartburn. Since the beginning of my pregnancy, sometimes they say that this heartburn starts in the last trimester. Not in my case. The whole pregnancy, heartburn. Great. But yeah, those were my symptoms in the first trimester. Second trimester is a little different, but I'm gonna make a video about that as soon as I'm done, which should be probably sometimes next month. So next month I'm probably gonna do the video about the second trimester, how it went. But other than that, I wanted to talk about the apps I'm using. I didn't really buy any books because I didn't feel like it's really needed, because I don't feel like with the pregnancy, like of course if you are interested but like how the pregnancy works, and if you got pregnant by accident or you didn't really plan on it, you don't really know what's going on, in that case yes, the book can help a lot. But I already read about pregnancy and how it goes and what's going on with your body a long time before I got pregnant, so I felt like I don't really need a book that will tell me about pregnancy. So I do have books, but they are not like pregnancy related, they are more related to other topics, but that's not really something that I want to talk about right now. I'm going to talk about it in like second or third trimester video, because it's more related to that. But what I've been using are apps, which they tell you basically every single week what's going on with your body, with your baby, what you can expect, and so on and so forth. So one of the pregnancy apps that I am using is Ovia Pregnancy. Ovia Pregnancy, I'm looking at it right now, so sorry about that. But Ovia Pregnancy basically tells you every single day new updates. It tells you weekly also what's going on with your body, and it shows you how big is the hand or a foot of the baby at the very specific week that you're in. And it also shows you how big is the baby, like in comparison to, let's say, veggies or fruit, or you can choose like some games or animals or anything like that, whatever you prefer. I just have it set up for fruit and veggies, I believe. So yeah, it's very interesting app that I open every single morning. Second pregnancy app is called My Pregnancy. I really like this app. This is where I track my weight actually. And again, every single week you have updates there, what's going on with you and with your baby. You have also like a useful advice. You can see how big is the baby. This is very interesting for me. So I like to just check how big is the baby. For example, in 12th week, the baby was 14 grams and it was 5.4 centimeters. Of course, this is an average. Like I said, our baby was a little smaller, but you know, you can at least have some idea how big the baby can be at that point of the time. And the last third app that I have is a Pregnancy Plus. This one I don't use that much, I'm gonna be honest with you. The only reason why I keep it is the animation. There's like this animation that is again changing every week. This one is like a 3D picture, so you can better see how the baby looks like in that week. So those are the apps that I'm using to track my pregnancy. Other than that, like I said, I take the iron because my doctor told me to, so that's something that I'm taking every single day. But I also take a prenatals. Let me show you. Okay, I'm back. So I first started with these prenatals. It's basically Jamieson prenatal. I really like those. They didn't make me sick. They were super great. And actually the last time when I went to the pharmacy, because I was running out, I still have some left, but I was running out and I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy the same ones. And I thought I bought the same ones, but I didn't. I bought the other ones. It's the same brand, but it's basically with DHA. Yeah, there you have it. So basically it's the same thing, it's just plus DHA, which is very beneficial for the brain of your baby. I started to take the DHA one, that's why I didn't finish this one. I think this one I started to take at the end of the 3rd trimester. They look different and they taste different, and actually these, they don't make me feel as good. Not a fan of these, but I know the DHA is good for the baby, so I'm taking it still. Even though some women, they say that after the 1st trimester they just stop taking the prenatals, I'm still taking them. Other than that, what helped me with my pregnancy, like I said, the symptoms were not that bad, so I don't really have any hacks, I'm sorry. But I started to, at the end of the 1st trimester, my belly started to get a little bigger. We did like a little photo shoot just to let everybody know that I'm pregnant, which I actually let everybody know in the 2nd trimester, but I'll show you the pictures right now because the pictures were taken, I think, at the end of 1st trimester or at the beginning of 2nd. So yeah, I already had some belly, so I wanted to use the pregnancy pillow because it's supposed to be better for you. You don't really need to use pregnancy pillow, you can just use a pillow. Nowadays I sleep with it every single night, and even though I hate it very much, I don't think it really helps me to sleep better, but it helps me to stay sleeping on my side, which is very important. I will show you the pillow, but it's very big, so I'm gonna try to find a picture and include it somewhere here so you can see which one I'm using. Maybe I find the same pattern as well. And yeah, that's basically it. It's like a wrap up of my 1st trimester. I'm very thankful and I'm very blessed that my 1st trimester was in the way that it was. There was no like big hiccups or anything like that, even though I had to be on the bed rest. I was really expecting like a lot of nausea. Nothing like that happened. I was one of the lucky ones. So the 1st trimester, I have to say, was a very nice experience. I'm very much enjoying the pregnancy, so that's great. So yeah, I think this video is long enough, so I'm just gonna wrap it up, and I'm gonna wish you a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.